What's going on? What's going on? What's up? Glad to see you here. Gonna give it a few minutes because this will be my, I'd say, longest, best scope I've done. It's a good scope to probably bring out a notebook and learn a few things, hopefully. Brian, good to see you here, man. Good to see you here. Today I'm going to be explaining the market maker in FOREX, what the market maker specifically does, who he is, kind of what their day in the life is, and how they go about running the markets. So as we get in here, let's share that feed a little bit. Let's get a few people in here and then we'll get it started. Today I plan to go over kind of the basics of what the market maker does, how he does things, and no visual examples, but a lot of overview to who the market maker is. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I finally decided to do it. So I'd love to share some knowledge with you guys. And Ryan, what's up? And we'll get it going in about 2 or 3 minutes. Invite some of your followers. I got a few guys that have messaged me that are going to be on in a few minutes, so I'll wait just a few. Thanks for retweeting on Twitter. Just trying to get a little stand. Hey, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? See if we can get a few more in here. I'm not sure, you know, maybe being Halloween. Maybe being Halloween, we won't have as many. What's up, Path? Good to see you, brother. But I hope that we get a little bit of a turnout. Let's invite some followers, guys. No, it's cool. It's cool. Let's get me to 20,000 hearts tonight. I'm like 500 away. Alright guys, I'm going to get started. So today I'm going to explain who the market maker is in the Forex markets. So for those of you that didn't know, as the Forex markets rise and fall, all price is controlled by a market maker. Now as we're buying and selling, the market maker has a quota, and he needs to get that quota by the end of the day, whether that's to go 3 million long or 3 billion long or 4 billion short. And so when he does this, he has certain tactics and strategies to gaining money and taking it from the traders, from the day traders, retail traders, and any other type of trader, technical traders, anyone like that. And so the market maker, the first thing he has to do is figure out how to get the money from the trader. And the way he does this is to, obviously, he first wants to create a trend. And when he does this, you know, you'll see an uptrend or a downtrend depending on the time frame you're on. And with this trend, he induces traders to take a position. And when he does this, say he comes out of an Asian session and he rises up 25 pips, he's inducing people to buy that market. And what he does is then he'll bring the market down a little bit, and then he'll come back up and retest that level, and that'll induce more traders to place more long positions. And then all of a sudden he'll rip the market away from you, and you wonder why. And you draw maybe a resistance line and see, wow, there was nothing there. How's that going to work? There was no resistance line there. And so as you look at that, you think, what was the market maker doing? And that was exactly what he was doing. He was inducing traders to gain a position, and then what he was doing was he was stopping them out and trying to hit their orders. So what he was doing was he created them a position, then he ripped it away from them. What leads to the second point is what he's trying to do is he's trying to create panic in the marketplace. And by creating panic in your head as a trader, you'll do irrational things, such as hold on, marry the trade, they call it, for longer than maybe a 25 pip stop loss or 50 pip stop loss. And when you hold on to that trade, you can almost blow an account because of that. And that's why they always say don't marry the trade and understand where to put a stop loss. And obviously, when he does that, he wants to hit the stops, and he just wants to clear his board free, so he has a clean slate to work with. And when he has that clean slate, he can move up or down, and he can then screw over some more people, and he just continues to cycle day by day. So in his bag of tricks, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are several times of day that market makers really try to trap you and pretty much make you think one thing when they're actually going the other. And these are the beginning of the day, the beginning of the session, and the beginning of the week, along with the end of the day, end of the session, and end of the week. And I'm talking about the market maker for Forex trading. And as the beginning of the session starts, we'll say Asian session. If you open up an Asian session range, you can maybe see them begin their trading going long, getting long holders and going up maybe 15 pips, and then suddenly they'll go down. And when they do that, they're trapping traders, and that's why they call it the beginning of the session trap trade. Same with the beginning of the week. In my checkdown process, every beginning of the week when you guys open up your Forex charts, open up a 4-hour time frame. Tomorrow night, open up a 4-hour time frame and completely neglect the first 2 candles in there. Because what they'll do is they'll consolidate, they'll go into a false move for the beginning of the week, and then they'll go into a trend. So what you'll see, I mean, I promise you, tomorrow, go into USD CAD, for an example, and say they go up. They'll go up for maybe 30, 40 pips, and then coming into Monday, they might rip it down from us. And that is a beginning false move trap trade. And what they do is they induce traders to go an opposite way of their real intentions. So as we look into this, we also think about the end of the week, end of the day. So obviously at the end of the day, right before gap time they call it, and I'll go over that in a little bit, what they're going to do is they're going to try to trap you so you keep your money in a little bit longer. And that induces, if you have your money in a little bit longer, they have a better chance of stealing your money. And obviously Friday is the end of the week, and that is why I highly advise anybody that I even work with through any academies, anybody I teach, I always highly advise avoiding Fridays, except for sometimes NFP if they're not completing a pattern, and they completely thrown off the pattern. We know it will retrace back, and that's part of the curriculum we've learned. And so that's the only Friday ever trade, which is next Friday, NFP, and we'll see how it happens, and we'll discuss that as time comes. But any questions on the trap times as far as what the market maker does with trap times? Okay, cool. So the next thing I want to talk about is just a general during the winter. So pretty much we think about this, whatever time it is right now, just when the hours shift back, everything shifts back an hour. So like as you guys know, 5 to 8 p.m. 5 to 8 p.m. is dead gap time. So in the winter time, that'll be 4 to 7 p.m. dead gap time. So just make sure you move that hour back. And when you move that hour back, you'll be fine. But that'll bring to the next thing, and that is when phone didn't tell me you're on. I know everybody did my notification go out? Because I only have 5 viewers. Usually I have 150 followers now. Should I restart the feed real quick? Or should I just keep going? You got a notice? No clue? I don't know much about, as you guys know, it's like a week and a half into Periscope. No, I don't want to ditch you guys. I don't want to ditch you guys. If you guys are getting knowledge out of it, then that's fine. Just keep your notebooks open. So that brings to the next thing, and this is a rule that I try to follow every time I take a trade. And that is, if you take a trade and you don't see substantial profit in the first 2 hours, meaning this is how I do it. If I'm not in 20 pips profit or more in the first 2 hours, I immediately take out of that trade, regardless of if I'm up 10 pips or if I'm down 4 pips. And the reason being is that we haven't gotten in on the ideal time. The real move hasn't started yet. Obviously, anybody that knows me knows that I trade late at night, and that's because the market maker always makes his first big move after the Asian session. And what he'll do is usually a vector 3 rise or drop into a real trend move. And I just try to play the reverse of that. As you guys know, I completely take fault for a trade I did live on here. And it did a vector 3 push. We got in. I saw a triple top high. I took a sell, and it ended up actually rising right till New York session and then plummeting, which was what I was looking at. It just happened a little later. So I was happy to see that I knew the direction of the market, but I didn't catch the timing right. But I should have known because I was 2 hours in and I was up like 10 pips. I should have gotten out, you know, and it immediately, like 2.5 hours later, ripped away from me. So as you guys know, when the market maker creates the high or the low of the day, whoever it is making that, they'll hit the high of the day, and then they're going to come off the high of the day for 30 to 90 minutes. And when they do that, that is what initiates the signal of high of the day. All right. And so when people say, when you're watching any curriculum, anything, and they say they issued the high of the day, that means what they did was, if you think about it, if a candle goes up, consolidates, up, consolidates, up, consolidates, it's only at that high for 15 minutes. But if they're up for 30 to 90 minutes, you know, up and then come down, come up, come down, and they're off of it for 30 to 90 minutes, because so you use technical. Yeah, and it's a little bit of market maker too, because the market maker, it's more fundamental. You're right, because when you decide that you're in a real good position, the market maker, if you're in the best trade possible, the market maker, what he'll do is he'll hit that high of the day, that stop on high, and he'll immediately get the hell out of there. And you'll hear that repeatedly, get the hell out of there, because what has happened is, if that huge wick comes up, the market maker has stopped whoever he's trying to stop, and he's hit the pending orders in the wrong way, and he's going to get the hell out of there. So if they're not paying attention or don't have stop losses, they've lost all that money. So that's when you see that huge spike and then that massive plummet. That's the market maker trying to get the hell out of there. So I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to restart the feed, and we're going to see if we can get a few more in here, all right?